So I think I have more audience than all of you combined, right? So last presentation, Ajay. So I'll be talking on steroids in BRB. When we talk about debate, it's not, I'm sure, Somil, you are injecting for 612 vision and you're giving anti-VEGF. I'm also giving anti-VEGF. So I'm not here to defend steroids as an absolute case where I'm putting Ozurdex, whoever patient comes with BRVO. So it's probably we're talking about preferred practice patterns here. So in a current scenario, if the patient comes, where would I prefer steroids vis-a-vis anti-VEGF, vis-a-vis observation and laser? Everything works. So as I said, the options for BRVO, observation, lasers, injections, and medical management. And it's not just anti-VEGF, it's not just VEGF, which is working in cases of vascular occlusions. It's the inflammatory pathways. So that's why we have choices of steroids, whether it is triamcinolone, fluocinolone, or Ozurdex implant. Triamcinolone, I'm not a great fan because of high incidence of raised intraocular pressures. So where I prefer giving Ozurdex injections in a patient with BRVO, pseudophakic eyes, failure or inadequate response to anti-VEGF therapy, patient is unfit for anti-VEGF. These are the patients who've come for the first time to me and they've been getting anti-VEGF injections again and again. Patient is on a regular follow-up but misses injections because of fear of injections. And economic reasons, and we want lesser injection burden on these patients. These are my choices of giving Ozurdex as a primary injection whenever a pseudophakic patient comes. And mind you, I don't mind if a patient is 60 plus and he has bit of cataract and I give Ozurdex. It's good for business. The cataract increases and my NTA person can remove the cataract and earn out of it. So natural history. So I think Somil, you talked about HERE. 86 and 75% when we talk, these are the patients who improved. But none of them had 20 on 20 vision after improvement. And the other thing was, this was done by HERE himself. All the patients were seen by him, but OCT was not available. Everything was done on contact lens microscopy on slit lamp, and maybe there was some fluid which was responsible for most of the patients not getting good vision or vision of 20/20. So I won't, because of time shortage, I'll just talk about one review article published in IGO in last year, where they have compared Ozurdex vis-a-vis intravitreal. This is the meta-analysis. And there were 6 studies. And this is very interesting, 2 were Novartis sponsored, which said ranibizumab is much, much better than Ozurdex. One was Allergan study, which showed that Ozurdex is as good as ranibizumab, if not better. And there were 2 independent studies where the numbers was not huge. So, and this is also interesting how they concluded with this meta-analysis. They said that anti-VEGF agents may be first line treatment in RVO, and DEX implant can be another primary choice in special cases, which we talked about, pseudophakic eyes, anti-VEGF resistant eyes, and other conditions. And compared with anti-VEGF therapies, the burden of retreatment is less. That we all know in our practice, whether it is vascular occlusion or diabetic macular edemas. And in patients with chronic edema not responsive to repetitive anti-VEGF therapies, the outcome after Ozurdex implant is very encouraging. I think the future is giving one shot of anti-VEGF, probably in 2 weeks' time, give Ozurdex, and we can actually reduce the number of retreatments in these patients. And various studies, I think they're taking care of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajiv. So we'll wind up the session. Thank you to all the speakers and to the next session instructors also for giving us time. Thank you so much.